everyone's sucking the fun out of everything. Welcome back, adventurers. My name is Eli, the Game Master, and this is A Good Day to Die.
It's on there too. Dang it.
So for those of you just tuning in, we are a tabletop role-playing game, specifically a fantasy tabletop role-playing game where me and my friends get together to create a fantasy world to entertain you, but mostly just each other. In this fantastical world that I've made up into my mind and put very little on paper, but I pretend like I know what I'm doing. My friends here are going to be rolling dice to determine the outcome of certain things, activities, attacks, skill checks, things like that, to see how the progression of the story is moved along with some role-playing abilities and skills that will bring the characters that they have created to life. So it's no longer a figment of their imagination, but a display for you, the viewers, to watch and enjoy. So, but if you are keeping up with us, and this is not your first episode, welcome back. Last we left off, our characters had moved into the witch's hut. Thesmera, the nightmare dream thief hag, who has created this evil plot with a nightmare dragon to take over the nightmare realm and to bring monsters from the plane of Ling and shift over into the rest of the dream world as it is. There's also the main story plot about the Black Blood, which is connected to this, but we are not quite working on that right now. They're on a side quest because crazy things happened under a tree. It's true.
It's so succinct, but it's so true.
Into Thesmera's hut, they went in, had encountered some traps, gained some treasure, went into a room. People almost died. Ragenar had been knocked unconscious and Ragenar had taken over. Ragenar moved with the group up into a haunted hallway where Ragenar decided to go off and do his own thing. He decided to split the party. His player, Shane, is not with us tonight. He had to take care of some personal stuff, but spoiler alert, he was going to split the party anyway. This just saves time. The rest of the group, however, had found the Library of Lost Souls. There in the Library of Lost Souls, they had found 3 undead librarians. These skeletal creatures cloaked in red robes, holding books and turning to regard the group. And Delaney, or Perry, had used his ability to change his appearance to make it as if he was holding the same unholy symbol that they were bearing. Presenting this unholy symbol to them, they regarded the group as friendly, not immediately attacking them, and had invited them into the Library of Lost Souls. Upon inspection of the books, they had discovered that these are people or wanderers who had moved into the dream plane and had confronted Thesmera asking for help in some way, and in return she wanted knowledge. A trick of the word as she polymorphed them into these tomes, and they discovered that if they were to read the tome, whatever skills the person had in life, they could acquire for a short period of time with an hour of discovery. And we will go ahead and pick it up there. The area that you're in smells a bit of wood from the old aged cabinets and shelves, stone from the floors and walls, and that kind of sweet saccharine scent of decay that passes just ever so often as the librarians just kind of make their way back and forth. They seem to be friendly towards you and willing to conversate, but for the most part, they seem to be doing what they always do, just leafing through books and wandering around, being undead, because they have internal patience now and nothing else going on. So, what would you all like to do?
I can still open the hall.
What?
Yes, he never entered.
Yeah, you and I went inside.
You guys chewed up Taris and Serene.
They also found a drink.
You chewed up Taris and Serene. He's like, let's go to the library. I slept to my own devices.
There's devices in the corner.
There is now.
Nice.
You have a level 7 alchemist there.
Was
So many
bored.
I don't know if boredom is the word for this.
It feels so empty right here. Just out here, it's like I miss my brain.
He misses.
So Damon's very much out of place in the library. So he looks over at Perry, he's like, and kind of leans in. What now?
I will do a perception roll, I think. See if anything like, pops out at me as far as the books in particular.
You may. Taurus and Serene.
Skeptics.
With a 24, looking over the room in its entirety, there is much to take in. The vast majority of which seems to be just the books themselves. You notice that when you move past them, any books that are left leaning like broad-faced out instead of just the spine, you can see that latch, that seal with the eye floating in it, and they are tracking you. When you move by, they regard you and watch you as you move by. The rest of it seems relatively mundane. There seems to be no real traps, no magical sigils, anything like that. It seems that she has entrusted the protection of this library to her 3 librarians. However, you do notice something just out of the corner of your eye, and it was movement that caught your attention. There's a book on the lectern that opens, and you see the page. And periodically, it does that with intent.
Is it like regular, like a metronome, or
No, it's as if somebody's reading
reading
it.
it?
But there's no like sign of a sphere in here, like an orb,
Like a crystal
Like a
ball.
scry.
crystal ball.
A skateboard review?
Not that you see.
I'll cruise my way over to
Inspecting the lectern, you see that the words on the book resting on the lectern begin to kind of like shift and move. The page turns periodically, and so as you're taking the time to like read it and go over it, the page turns. And so you're having trouble deciphering what exactly is written on the pages.
Does it seem to be arcane in nature, or
The book itself?
well, the writing? Like,
The
magic
writing itself? Yes.
Would that be a use magic device?
It would be read magic.
It's part of my class, so yes. It's an innate ability.
Crap. As you kind of like tilt your head and you look over this, the runes themselves begin to read out as if they're instructions. But as you like try to read the instructions, the page turns.
There's no like creature there,
There's one of the skeletal champions standing next to it.
but not active.
No, he's just doing his own thing. And the lectern turns on its own, and it's the book on the lectern turns on its own. And it's or this is normal for him.
I use mage hand to open it at the beginning.
You can try. It does not work.
Yes.
Oh, he has a special.
I think his special thing is attended objects. I don't know if it's that.
Is there any sort of organization to the library that I can tell from one standing?
I mean, yes, it's organized.
By theme, by content, by book size, by
Not really.
alphabetical.
No, there is no really Dewey Decimals.
I start walking along counterclockwise,
Mhm.
just kind of looking at the books as I go.
You get to that?
No, does anything catch my eye, it might be something regarding our quest, or a name I recognize, or...
Every single one of these books used to be.
So the thing we're trying
Well,
to
I knew that.
There's a haunt going on right now.
Right.
We're trying to end it.
Guys.
These are not written by people. They are
They are
people.
people.
Yeah. They are written people.
I hesitantly reach out and pick one up. Please tell me it doesn't make that noise.
Oh, it does. Also, when you touch like the leathery binding of it, it kind of like gently moves. There's
Does
a
it need to be
tube sticking-
unlocked or just unlatched?
Just unlatched.
I unlatch it.
Go ahead and roll me a d12.
Oh, there it is. Okay. No, I got it. It's not one
It's the
I
one with
need.
the 12 sides, which is 3 times more than the d4.
You are in shock. 5.
You said. You begin kind of like leafing through it. The red words contrasted against the pale yellow background. As you begin reading through these words, it starts off kind of very mundane, like a journal almost. I was born here, this happened to me. And as you start leafing through it a little bit more, you start to read of this person picking up their father's sword, wearing armor, going into battle with shield and plate armor. It starts to talk about a person and their adventures into becoming what seems to be a fighter.
I am intrigued and I continue reading.
Okay.
I reach out. And trap senses tingle.
Technically,
Technically, no.
yes.
Well, I touch the book.
When you touch the book, placing your hand on it, you feel it begin to vibrate as if it's not super chill with you holding it.
Pardon me, I just
You flip it over, looking at the beginning. I assume you start to read it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Roll me an intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
Oh yeah,
19.
19.
Oh,
You're there, by the way. As you begin reading over the book, you begin to see instructions on how to properly read the pages, in what order and from which direction to read them. It's written in a different, like, almost a code. Like somebody had invented their own alphabet and had given instructions in magical runes on how it should be read. You are able to decipher how it works. It's almost like a puzzle, and you're like, oh, that's a palindrome. So if I do this and I read it from this direction, and you start getting an understanding of it, as you read through it, you start to realize you're reading no normal book. You're actually reading a tome of understanding. And if you follow the instructions, which you are able to do, it will take you about 5 rounds to do. It's very simple, but odd and radical, as if it's a combination lock. To turn to this page, read in this direction, flip to this page, shut the book, and then open it again. If you follow the instructions correctly, which with your past intelligence roll you're able to do, the living soul within the book will begin to qualm, and it will simply become a book of understanding. Or a tome of understanding. Technically, it's not the book that the spirit resides in, it's the lectern.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll spend that time.
So if anybody just looks over at Perry, he's just like...
Upside down.
Big origami with this thing.
You know, and it's just like, he doesn't know how to read, does he? And then you kind of like...
Is that flesh?
No.
Sweet.
Yes.
This thick book contains tips for improving instinct and perception. But entwined within the words is a powerful magical effect. If anyone reads this book, which takes a total of 48 hours over a minimum of 6 days, they gain the inherent +2 bonus to their wisdom score. Once the book is read, the magic disappears from the book and it becomes a mind.
I could use it.
I don't think I have
Sure.
48 hours in the library. I don't finish the book. I kind of set it back on the shelf. And I start getting a little bit more choosy. I start looking to see if I recognize any names.
They're all within the bindings. You have to open
Any faces, any flesh colors?
it. Are you looking for someone specific?
Not particular. How do these souls? Are these just people that have come over to the dream plane, or have they been captured in the dream plane and turned into books?
They have not been captured. They willingly sought her out.
Got it.
Asked her a monkey paw favor,
Got it.
and she used that room with a polymorph sigil in it to turn them into books.
And
So I wouldn't know who to look for.
would it be spellcraft? No. What? Counters then?
Counters.
It would be another polymorph.
Yes.
Do I recognize any names of any paladins?
So you open each one.
No, I start opening books at random, looking at the name. I guess that'd be like a perception or search. No.
Walk over to you. Italy. What is the souls actually? Stealth check.
Skeletal champion doesn't get
Yeah. Go.
He doesn't even know he's over
I
behind
don't
me. I'm saying next
You're
to him,
talking
I
to
can
me.
hear
me.
I somehow don't understand gaming as a
Probably Midway.
then we need to roll like,
Not an exorcist.
I think it would be more some religious aspects. Like I have a lot of
But I
things
know how to
that,
end a hunt.
knowledge religion.
I rolled a 1.
Oh boy.
What hunt?
good message.
I think we should be more interested in how to free the souls from this.
Right. You're right. You've always been right. Oh,
Terrace is right there.
Oh.
It's not gonna be a good night.
Maybe the doctor. I keep my head out the door.
I open another book.
You would see me, I am just crouched back, flat against the wall. And I have that 1,000-yard line.
Hey, Doc.
You also would notice that Terrace and Serene have a very similar expression on their faces.
Like it. Zoned out.
Yeah, like they're not there. They've checked out.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
Need some help.
Why?
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 To end all this.
What does it matter?
To save the world?
Been there, done that. Look what happened.
Sense motive.
You may.
Can you just come in here? Please. 18.
With an 18, his countenance has completely changed since the haunt started. Something is affecting Isaac Cohen.
Are you okay? What's wrong?
still just sitting that way.
You know, you told him things you didn't explain.
Also, are you regarding him from the door, or
No,
you
I'm-
stepped out the hall?
Oh, no, I can't see him. You're right. I can hear him, but I can't see him.
That's not good. His eyes peeking out, like, hey, I'm in.
Right, and then you join the conversation, and so my question is,
Okay,
are you
yeah.
regarding him from the door,
Yeah.
or have you stepped to the hall?
Regarding him from the door. Coming behind, looking over him. I am
Not
like a
that
foot
hard.
taller
It's
than you.
not, yeah.
Foot.
Probably. Or two.
Well, you're what, 6 something? How tall is Dan?
6 foot.
You'd probably be a head taller than him if you were a foot taller than him.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's
Small.
a child even.
That's why when he came in your room that night, because he had a nightmare, he had a scene, and you told him to kick rocks.
Yes, I did.
Did.
That's a thing you did. And no one can think of
Let me tell you about what happened.
Let me tell you about my
I tell you about
childhood.
one night when Sarah went into the parents' room seeking help.
No, I don't think we need to unpack that
Now
right
go back to your room, or I'm telling the boogeyman to eat your toes.
More like mom sitting bolt upright in her bed, screaming, and she bit Dad's hand when he tried to cover her mouth.
Interesting. Anyways. Cool.
Just drop that friendly comment.
Well, we look back on it now and laugh.
We look back now on it.
But okay. Back on so many. Is he okay?
Like that.
Hey, Tom, can you come here for a second? Diplomacy? We might need your help with something.
Sure. One. I do stand up and slowly make my way. Just letting, if those voices are still going on in my head, just letting them roll over.
Also, rolled 32 diplomacy. So.
That's great.
Still sad.
Well, you can be sad and
Magic
convinced.
stuff. It's not sadness. This is like 3 steps beyond sadness.
I'm really sad.
You call it
Really,
crushing
really.
despair.
Well, Damon's not a patient person, so how far do you get in, say, 2 turns? Okay. Like, do you see all this? These books are alive. Right. These books
You pay attention.
were people.
Yes.
I get it. Try and get in close. How do we free them?
No, we know
You're
how.
the holy man.
We know how. We just can't.
So, new roll then for how to free. How would you go about freeing the people from the books?
You don't know what a haunt is.
I don't know what a haunt is, but I do know
You rolled a 1.
what the books are.
Right.
That's a different roll.
We also know.
Sure. Then go ahead.
We know the spell holy man. Why you
What knowledge?
It'd be spellcraft.
23.
I think so. Wait.
$23, you say?
Yes.
So these are polymorphed humanoids. The way to reverse that is to polymorph them back.
One at a time. There's no like mass anti-polymorph you can do.
There are ways to break a mass grouping of people like this, but you do not know what it is. Depends on your role, I suppose. Yes.
Also, we have to have the discussion about whether it's worth the time and effort to do it, or if it would just get in the way of
37.
get in the way of everything.
Because my initial thought was releasing a soul spring. Just like. Amos, come on, buddy. Get with
That's a
me.
better name.
I am not my character.
Are you?
Right. None of us are. Especially not Eli. He just plays all his characters. All his personality traits come out. Just one at a time.
New DM, you truly love the lioness acrobat.
So
Um,
do I know in 37 spells?
So with the 37 spellcraft, you have heard of it. A mass polymorph. It's typically something that, it's typically like a seal that many spellcraft casters, many spellcasters can create and use. It's not something you can just cast on somebody. It's a thing you have to create. A lot of time, effort, and money goes into making these. And so, like, technically, if you had the know-how and enough powerful spellcasters, you could just bring them into this room and turn it into that thing, and then bada boom.
And there's not a way to like reverse the room that already exists.
What do you mean reverse the room that already exists? Oh, the other seal room? Yes? Technically, but it'd be the same.
The same process.
Yeah.
And then final question is, do these books require reading?
Technically, no. They're not alive.
Cool.
They are conscious, not alive.
Cool.
And then if we don't have any other ideas,
There is a weight limit.
There is. Yes.
We have 2 minutes.
I'm sure it's pounds of it. Let's get 200 for the first one.
Big is this library.
Is it more than 100?
I think it is.
I was thinking of my never spent. Not book. Book of Holding.
Who did you call it, dummy?
Me.
Okay.
It's 250.
Oh! I'm dumb, I'm sorry. So, thing. With a polymorph, however, with that, piggybacking off of what you know about reversing a polymorph effect,
Yeah.
a polymorph effect that she has is the same thing. You're connecting that. She has a room dedicated to it. That's how you would reverse it. However, something feeding that. It's not something you just create and it just forever is. It has to be fed. There has to be a magical source that is powering into it. Roll me a second spellcraft check.
Dream tier.
No. Dream tears aren't batteries. Souls are.
So Wells
Oh, that's still. I was like, whoa. 35.
So wells are. And you know that with an island like this, that is floating and has so many magical effects, it's all being fed. It's not something she just created and was like, it now floats forever. There's a constant energy source that it's drawing off of, and you feel like this effect also draws off of that. Anything within the active aura, energized aura, remains polymorph, but if the aura was ever to be destroyed, it'd be a
Or
different
if they
story.
would be removed from the aura.
Also that.
Like that. Random system.
Also that. Oh. No.
Not that easy.
The polymorph effect will continue to last
Okay.
unless what changed them has been destroyed.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that would
So
be-
yeah, you could take them with you wherever you want.
That would be the room. That was sealed.
The soul.
The what?
The soul well is beneath. It's not that same. We haven't seen the soul well.
Right. But we know there has to be something like that.
You do.
I know there has to be something.
I imagine she may be here. One can only assume.
Maybe I don't go and steal all the books.
You're not a rogue.
I know.
Can I now at the door looking into it? I almost want to say just a perception check to see if I notice anything weird and unusual. Because I almost want to say, do I notice anything of the books? Specifically, like different flesh styles. Like, is there humans, orcs?
Yeah, that was determined. All humanoid, but yes.
Are there any that
One
have
book
more,
has a beard.
Are there any that has more like my skin color, like that reddish, like hellish,
Like tiefling?
or even darker?
Maybe
Tridian?
one.
I would pick it up if I found one and start to leave for it.
How many D10? Or D12?
That's the one that's 12 on it.
Hey, thanks. I found it. 9.
You begin to read stories of an orphan tiefling forever scorned because of how his appearance was. He began to make a name for himself and a living by stealing. This book gives descriptions on how stealthy he was and how he was able to move in and out of places without being noticed.
He was codenamed Tiefling.
Wow. I hate
Can I
how funny
deny
that
that?
is.
Can I just say no?
No, roll to deny.
16.
It's your person.
I briefly
Tiefling.
I briefly look at Perry and just
Tyrus, can you help with this? Okay.
Yeah, pardon, yes. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Great.
You see she's just kind of staring at the floor, leaning against the wall.
Do it sounds better.
Make sure you're not.
Plain out character. 26.
26?
Yeah.
Ever since the hallway and that effect that went off, these three have been because Tayrus started to spiral and slapped him back into it. It seems like Dr. Tone and Serene are suffering from the same thing. But Tayrus is very poorly trying to hide it. And Serene it looks as if everything that she has been through in the years that she's been through it has caught up to her.
same thing but different with Dr. Tone.
As if her lust for revenge has finally been over.
Yeah. I think they're actively affected by
My hunt.
I almost started to yell at Amos. Only to remember he's playing in character right now.
One person split the party, everybody else is affected with crippling despair, and my other option is Amos.
Sir, it's crushing despair.
Crushing despair.
Okay, in my defense, I rolled a 1.
No, we don't. You're doing fine. Doesn't
Also in the game.
make it, doesn't make it less stressful.
How long was that for? Pizza.
Forever.
They do seem really depressed.
Is it being affected by hundreds of souls?
I don't know, this
Voices.
library is really pretty.
Voices and everything. 4 minutes.
So in the 5 minutes it took him. No, that's.
Yeah. I was like,
I thought it was the 5 minutes.
we're probably coming up on it, but you know.
I open up another book. Just random. Eight.
This one tells about a tracker learning how to hunt animals in the wilderness.
A human tracker?
No. Dwarven tracker.
Interesting.
Like he tracks dwarves, or
Both.
Dwarf.
A shipping ships.
Damon gets bored with that one. Puts it back.
Okay.
Really cool.
really
Not his
so
forte. Not his cup of tea.
I've always described my formula book. I won't say my alchemical tongue. That was not the right word for my formula book as being like it's a flesh-bound book.
Mm-hmm.
Is it similar to any of the colors here?
No. No, this is a whole different type of rose.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's like lit.
It's a brand of weird or something.
We almost did when Ragnar stepped into the room.
I said to the far side of the room. Pick up another book.
Okay.
Just let me know when those work.
12.
It's a wizard.
Nope. I'll have nothing to do with wizards. Hey Perry,
Yeah.
you might enjoy this one.
Is it
I
like
imagine Perry's just watching.
a flesh-covered tome at you?
I think it licked me.
You're touching a person.
No.
You are a person. I put the book back. Sorry. Can we leave? This
Yeah, I
is
think
weird.
so. I think we're gonna do that thing. We're gonna go to another room.
Are there receipts in here?
No.
I just sleep there.
There's also no table. It's as if this place wasn't made for you to go into, sit down, and enjoy light reading.
There's no light reading.
I just sit down against a wall and loosely thumb through a page. Like a book. Just random book.
It talks about a holy man ascending into their religion and finding their deity.
So I do start to actively read this one
Mm-hmm.
until those 4 minutes are up.
It takes an hour to read the book.
Correct.
Yeah. So,
That's what I am doing until I make it.
I will say with Damon's curiosity and the time it took you to deactivate the tone, that the time has worn up, the crushing despair does wear off.
Let's travel this way to me. This way.
Oh, my goodness.
I suddenly pipe up. Stand up. My dear skeletal friends. Hi, by the way, what is your name?
We are the librarians.
You just go back, and you would see an instant change of personality and mood. Like librarian A, B, and C. How do you differentiate between the three of you?
We are they who are the librarians. Individuality and names are meant for others without purpose.
Right. Your holy symbol. Can you tell me more about your god?
Oh, let me tell you about this god.
I had so many things I wanted to do, and I was like, my character cannot and would not. It's fun.
And I'll just be reading my.
Your fleshy wizard now?
No, it's a no understanding. No flesh involved. The only book that is not flesh filled.
One may argue that
Why I say what I like.
Satan man whose intelligence score is currently at 26. I don't have a single score book. Now, my charisma, wisdom, and enemy are all even killed.
Oh, I'm on the struggle bus.
we all
When you start juggling it again?
It was so funny seeing it again. Because when I said it was in unison, it was pretty daggum in unison.
Quick,
'Cause
entertain
there's
the
even-
masses.
There was a beat where all three of you tried to think of something, and that was just where you went. And then my face, as I saw it, I was just like, well, why?
Just disbelief.
Are you not entertained by
I was
juggling?
not. Well, I was more
First
entertained by
shot,
the
that's
box
it,
falling
right?
down. If we're talking about entertainment level, I'd pay $20 to see that again. I'd give you a nickel.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. He can edit this out afterwards.
He won't.
The problem is, anytime we do stuff like this, we keep talking through it, so there's no clean editing breaks.
And cut.
So, anybody know any good jokes out there?
There's Jack Frost get to work. My eyes.
And pitch the question again.
I see you have a holy symbol there. Tell me about your god.
This is Azara, the patron god of witches and witchcraft. Yes, she that brought us to life worships and gains her magic through Azara, not solely by a coven or by some patron deity.
What is your interest in books? Which is these?
These are not simply books.
Yes, they're past people who have made the Lisbon film area. It became domed.
Yes.
Knowledgeable in the flesh.
She understands the power behind knowledge and has gained it through dozens of people, increasing her own magics and a deeper understanding of the psyche of dream.
What's up with the hole?
That's haunted. It's super spooky.
You're so
What?
Oh yeah, we don't go out there.
What haunts it?
Ghosts.
But like from whence do they haunt it?
He gestures to the books.
These are the physical and mental manifestations of those polymorphed into an inanimate object. The soul itself cannot inhabit such a vessel, so they are trapped here as poltergeists, bound to a location. Whatever.
That's that. Anybody done it?
Not really.
Cool. Still good as done.
And one final question. I thank you so much for your time and educating me in these matters.
Learning from us is part of overcoming this room's trial. You had the holy symbol, we're friendly now.
Anyway, go on.
Why are the paintings have their faces ripped off?
They are manifestations of those who once were. They no longer have identities. It was taken from them.
How many paintings were there?
A dozen.
It's more symbolic than anything.
So there's no rhyming method, whatever, to those 12 and a half paintings.
Could be. Or no.
That would have been a good idea.
It's already a good idea. I'm a good DM.
So, and I guess, sort of ask that in that question before I why were those 12 singled out?
It's not only those 12. The hallway is ever changing, shifting, like different rooms inside the hut will be. Not everything in the dream world remains the same forever. Don't.
Yes. You ever get, you
He
don't
was.
need to. You don't need to be.
So Baku the Baku is 5 feet long. What do you mean giant?
I mean, I feel like you're focusing on the giant part and not the elephant floating part.
Damon, seeing that these skeletons are actually talkative and respond,
You haven't talked to them.
hypes up. Do you know where we might find your mistress?
Yes. But we're under strict orders not to divulge locations within the hut.
Oh, I see. So, who might we talk to if we need to find a certain location?
That would be Thesmera herself.
Oh, I see.
But you could tell us where she is.
No.
She thought
We
it was-
only know where she is when she's here. Outside of this room. She could be anywhere.
We know where she isn't. I know all the points where she isn't. We know where she is.
Well, she's not here.
Tyrus is like,
The missile uses advanced striking software. It measures all the places it is. And by knowing where all the places it is, it knows where it is.
you see, we have knowns and we have unknowns, but we also have known knowns and unknown knowns and known unknowns, but not unknown unknowns, because we don't know what those are.
And mostly agree with it. Back to the painting. You say the shifting and the changing. Why did they specifically lose their identity and not the other rough count of thousands of souls we have here?
The paintings do change. Those who lost their identity manifest periodically. It's not the same 12.
Right, but why did they lose their identity? Why would those particular books? Where are they?
Now they here.
Okay.
Yeah, their souls out there. Their bodies here. Yeah.
Which it makes you wonder, though. Check the book out with the I don't know. What the shot?
You hear one whisper.
One of the librarians steps outside. He grabs the book. He turns and looks at you and in a scolding tone says,
We are also under strict instructions that these books shall never leave this room.
roll me a perception check.
Unprompted, so I won't say.
28.
With a 28, when you do that, all three of them look over at you as if magically alerted that a book had left the room. Not that they saw it, they just knew.
Okay. Okay. Do with that information, but okay.
If you
What
tried
not
to,
do with
if
that
you tried to
information.
put them in your bag and leave.
This is the DM letting you know.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying this encounter you
Avoid
bypass.
it. Might not be a bypass.
Yeah. Quickly becomes reality.
Okay.
You cannot tell us about locations and other things, but knowledge should be traded and shared accordingly. Preferably not in that form. What do you know about the Moon Beast?
The Moon Beast only what any scholar of the Akalo persuasion can tell you.
In Akla, I say, of course, I have some knowledge of this.
He's not that.
That's not a question, so he stares at you.
Back in the common. What's its name?
To ask an undescribable creature, a monster from Ling, what its name is.
But surely you call it by something.
We simply refer to it as the Moon Beast, or Lord of the Unnamed Rock.
What is significance to me? I hear the name. The term.
Unnamed rock.
Lord of the Unnamed Rock, or Unnamed Rock.
We saw the.
You were there.
Oh,
You were on the rock.
It was the pyramid up top.
Yeah. He even made the comment, doesn't calling it the unnamed rock defeat.
give it a
Yeah.
name. Got it.
In
You need to take that up with Mr. Lovecraft.
I would, but he dead.
Easy though. Have you read his works? Are we sure?
He'll live forever in your nightmares.
I'm thinking if we were to run across a statue of such a beast or creature, I want to properly give it the respect it deserves.
Yes. Of course. Certain idols like that may exist only obey Thesmera herself. Like if you had an item that allowed you to disguise yourself, you could like
And we've seen
bypass the
we've
statue.
seen an image of this Mario.
No, but
It would have been really easy.
If only we had.
Like
something
I said,
that.
I'm a goodie. But it's dead now, so
And there are 4 doors that lead here.
there are one door that leads
Into
you.
the
One
hallway.
I'm getting, I get a weird angle on the map. So
Those are bookshelves full of books.
I don't think.
People! These books are people!
So are the skeletal champions also reading people books?
No. They're actually reading their spell books.
Oh. They're spell books.
Because in life they were spellcasters.
So in death, they're still spellcasters.
They would have to be arcane spellcasters. Like a wizard.
Sorry, I asked.
Like they are just lousy with fireball.
I asked them the question. What were you in your previous life?
I am uncertain.
You have a spell.
Yes,
You understand the rings and rings are?
yes,
You still are experienced.
yes.
How old is the booklet?
Actually relatively new. Same with his robes.
Would I know that's like just they don't age kind of a thing, or is that like they've been
No, skeletal champions do age. Their armor typically is broken or rusted. However, it's as if these people have been bedecked, as if she has equipped them with items to make them scarier than a normal skeletal champion.
Nudge, nudge, wink.
Not more like magical enhancements. Yeah, she didn't just give them thousands of gold worth of equipment.
Sure.
Oh, I'm positive. Yeah, as if she slapped templates on them to make them more frightening.
Nothing I can acquire.
No. I've given you enough stuff, buddy. It's either like feast or famine. I know, but we're in famine or we're in feast territory.
Well, like I personally know to give a skeletal champion magic ability and magic casting, that's like double the DC. You know.
Anyways, I'm gonna see myself out
Da-da-da-da.
and go to the door on my left.
When you step out into the hallway, I will need a will save.
22.
Oh. Sorry. What'd you say it was?
22.
Okay.
As you step out, you hear those voices crying out, calling for help and warning you to leave. You feel that wave wash over you, and you're able to instave it back.
What's a haunt? I don't know much about haunts because my knowledge religion is not most of my knowledge. Can I try to reach out mentally to these things?
Sure.
And broadcast a message. I'm actively trying to help release your souls. Please don't harm us.
In doing so, you hear them crying back to you in that same way. It's not a mental thing. They have no minds. They're immune to that undead. But they are crying out to you. Roll me sense motive. The 15, you get the feeling they don't know they're hurt. As if just their presence is what's doing it. They're not attacking. They just almost trying to. Tyrus watches you step out. I just wanted to test something. Thank you. He says as he walks past you. It has a cooldown. He walks over to one of the doors.
I immediately call it up the moment I hear that voice.
Just moonwalks.
How's Celine doing?
Serene.
Serene, thank you.
Yeah, serenity. She is serene. No, she's a dream dragon. Very much like she was just staring off into the distance. Now her head is up. That seems to be the only change.
I walk up to her, kind of. Are you okay?
How tall is your character?
6 foot.
6 foot? She's the same height.
Okay. Are you okay?
Of course. Well, as okay as I can be. My husband was murdered, my children were eaten, and I was enslaved for several years. What are you asking about specifically?
You seem to have been overcome by all of it, instead of the strength that you showed us before. I was making sure that.
Is it 22? Sorry, does it hit your touch?
It's funny that you think it would be that low.
She rolled a 2 and 90. No, that's not. She told me she has more than a plus 20 to attack.
Oh boy.
She says, there seemed to have been some kind of effect that affected me, the Tengu, and the Tiefling. However, outside of that, I'm not entirely certain what's going on. If you're asking if I'm still under the effects, no. But I do appreciate you looking out for me.
I'm right now. It's only right that we look out for each other.
She seems very hesitant
I don't notice. I just kind of.
to say something.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it looks like whatever's out there is affecting Perry or Tyrus. I think we should be okay.
It should have affected me.
Someone or one.
She steps outside. You said you turned to the door immediately to your right? To your left? Yeah, sorry, that's where the doors are. That first door.
Alchemist lab.
What?
There's an alchemist lab.
Alchemist slap. Like,
Yeah.
what's slapping? Are we slapping the alchemist now?
Oh, that's the wrong
Oh,
door.
no. Can I
really?
stealthily open it?
Nope, you didn't say that.
We all pile through.
Hey Perry, what'd you find? Like,
And A-Log is just like,
you open the door, and what stretches out before you is that room.
Yeah.
You see the mist drifting across the ground. You see the bones scattered about. You see the corpse of a nightmare dragon. It's twisted and barely recognizable as it's laying there, the blood still extending out, seeping into the crevices of the stone floor and stretching beyond. Looking up to the sky, you see the obscuring mist, and beyond it you can see the flash of cannon fire as it... And you hear the sound echoing out, dulled and slow. It's
That
difficult
just
to see.
started.
You can roll me a perception check, though. It's too obscure.
I didn't knowing where Aylock was about 10 minutes ago, does she still appear to be?
Wait a minute, is this the place that you popped into?
I popped potion of invisibility. Not greater, just. And I will stealthily walk over to where the other ring is.
Roll me that perception check to find out where it's at.
Oh,
Yeah. You have, you get like a +10 because you know where you popped out at.
Also maintain
28. Sorry. No. 30.
Okay.
+10.
Yeah. The thing is, you can't see it, so the DC of it is increased, but you have a general idea where it's at. You start to go over to where you last saw it. Moving over, you said you follow in?
maintain. I was following quickly behind Taylor, so my phone was following. If not, I would be going straight for you. I don't know.
Okay, where do you go?
Just in something.
Okay, how far?
Just in
And I moved in front of my
So as you begin moving through the mist, you do have to take a moment to get down and search. As you do so, you feel along the ground and you do feel something hard. You grab it and you realize, boom, you have the other gate ring.
Could you shake your own hand?
I don't think you physically could.
You can stick with her.
Well, yeah, but with not all of it.
No.
Starts spinning. Neat. I created a new plane somewhere.
As you two step in, Damon, you hear a voice. It's coming from like here, but like right there. As you hear, I remember you, and Alok manifests right beside you. And just like that, surprise round, and we will roll for initiative.
You know,
You know,
I was stealthing.
it's a sad day to not have a Ragenar. Not that he really would have done. He went out locking us behind other doors.
Perry.
25.
David, I too did.
Oh my goodness. Tayrus too rolled a 25.
Woo!
Boys.
I may not know what a haunt is, but I'm always ready for a fight.
And Dr. Pepper.
I was wondering. 13. Did you just assume I'd be at the bottom?
Yeah.
It's a valid assumption. It's okay though, my flight for my regular reason is
You all saved against her fright for the appearance, so you are immune to that. So she is going to straight up just nothing.
Damn, right?
Oh yeah. That's fine.
Does a 37 hit you?
Even more.
Yes, and flat.
Dealing 20 points of damage even. I will need a fortitude save.
Uh, 23.
23, you're good. Ugh.
DC for
Does a 22 grapple you?
the DC for resistance.
Does not.
Does a 33 hit you?
Yes.
Dealing 15 points of damage. Does a 39 hit you?
Yes.
Dealing 21 points of damage. Dr. Tone!
Shit, love.
Does a 21 hit you?
Yes.
Barely.
Dealing 9 points of damage. Does a
If it's higher, yes.
25 hit you?
It's higher, yes.
Dealing 6 points of damage. As she appears, you see her reach up with her front legs, slamming Damon into the ground. You see the concrete kind of crater beneath his armored back. She lurches down, biting into his armor as she starts rending into him. Dr. Tone kind of like reaches over to help, and her wings flare out, just kind of smacking you back as she begins ripping into your frontline fighter.
Top of the initiative.
Top of the initiative. Top of the parry.
Was it Halo 3 here?
You rolled to know what she was, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't.
No, because she's a unique creature. Because even Taurus has the highest chance of getting that even. Because she's a unique creature, it was a +10. So it's DC 20 plus her CR. I know what she is.
Yeah, I will try it.
Her CR is dumb.
Does she have spell resistance?
Last time your spells didn't seem to have any problems with her. Is all I'll say.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm gonna move about 15 feet in that direction.
Who did we got?
And
You
I
think the
know.
giant spider dragon doesn't have any forks? Oh, why am I looking at that? Oh, there's all.
Lovely. So now this does, if she breathes here. So I cast suffocation.
Okay.
Oh. It's just a thing you can do, isn't it?
The spell, well, I mean,
You can cast
it's a high level
suffocation.
spell. Extracts the air from target's lungs, causing swift suffocation. Target can attempt to resist the spell's effect with a fortitude save. It didn't succeed, so if the target fails, immediately begins to suffocate. On the target's next turn, he falls unconscious and is reduced to 0 hit points. One round later, the target drops to -1 hit points and is died. One round after that, the target dies. Each round, the target will relay that round's effective effects from a crane, but making it successful for its save. The spell effect continues. So each time the target fails his point, it's suffocation. It is impossible to defeat the effects of the spell by simply.
Because it said it moves there.
If.
Okay, passing the 14 stops her from going to the next stage. What is the suffocation function?
Well, either their next turn.
and that just is a thing that happens.
It just happens.
Cool.
So,
Worth it. What's the certification?
I have no
Spent a lot of time creating.
You just did like 60 points of damage.
I mean, now he's gonna kill Damon. I could just not.
Damon, you're up.
So the
Fine,
condition-
I'm not knocked down, right?
Mechanically, no.
Swift action, vindictive smite.
You may.
Stagger. Where's the condition? Stagger.
And I'm about to lay a whooping on her.
You may.
37.
37 will strike your opponent.
And 27.
27 will not strike your opponent.
With my weapon, I do 26 points of damage.
You stop. Put that thing back. As she's snapping down at you, you take your shield and just ram it between her pedipalps. Wham! She steps back. Standing up, you slice across her face. She roars out, kind of skittering backwards.
She roars out with what air?
I'm not there yet.
Sometimes her next.
I'm teasing.
Tyrus draws his gun. He sees you two, and then he just sees Damon, and he's like, "I wish I could help."
but I can't. I'm so sorry.
That's
There's only so many bullets, you
I'm
know.
more help.
These cost like a
Yes.
Restricted health.
Stagger wound, you can do nothing but just
Alok steps back as you slice across her face. She rears up and goes to bite down at you. Serene steps in front of you and grabs her pedipalps. You see the ground beneath her kind of shift as she grabs Alok.
And she is going to claw. Does she still have
No, and she misses.
older dragons still have their claw attacks and then item.
And something else. As she goes to bite down, Serene swings up at her. The claw hits the fang, and you see sparks kind of ignite out as she moves away from Alok. They're kind of at a standstill. You see Alok look down at the three of you as that green glow swells up in her chest. She opens her mouth to use her breath attack, and suddenly you see the wind around her begin to spin as she... She reaches up with her front claws grabbing at her chest. She stammers back. She slams into the wall. Her wings kind of flutter a couple of times as she shifts, falling onto her back, and you see her legs hurling.
Yep, to see if she dead or begins to.
So she is unconscious and at 0.
Right.
For the spell.
That's not the first stage. The first stage is
For the spell. For the spell supplication. At the start of her turn, she comes to 0 hit points with unconscious.
level 5 spells. That's all. On the target's next turn.
Yeah, which is now. Which I theatrically did.
Yes,
This
you,
for.
you're good. That was me not-
21.
That still spells?
23.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, her fort's not great. She's more of a dexterous thing, despite her size. Because I did make her very
Well,
fast.
she did treat me like a speed bag, so.
So you see her just kind of like begin to curl up like a spider you just whacked with a newspaper. Only huge. Her wings twitch and flutter. Serene looks down there and looks over at you. Tyrus like steps into the room. Excellent, gentlemen. We'll scoop her up onto a newspaper and then put her outside. That's how we're going to solve this. Are we done here? He says.
If no one else, because she still technically has 1 round of range ties, it could be at -1 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
But I would put her out for 3. Yeah, really not.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Since she's going to die.
And like, being she is a sentient creature, even though she actually won.
You knew nothing about her.
Yeah. So I mean,
I told you her backstory, but you knew nothing about
okay.
her.
Yeah, I mean, just from
Because
my
fate spiders technically aren't evil.
my experience in the dream travel is somewhat akin to this. It's also a weird way, and so I would just quickly kind of like close my eyes.
I wouldn't waste any tears on her. I cough up blood.
Yeah, but she was kind of just a victim of her environment.
It was half Nightmare Dragon.
You didn't ask to be.
She looked more of a victim on the suffocation spell. Serene says as she walks past you.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Serene seems callous.
Thank you for helping me.
18 points.
She nods.
Oh, thank you.
Perhaps I just take a quick look throughout the room to see if there's anything that could help us.
She looks down at you as you're like scanning the room. You do notice, because it's huge, and I'm not going to make you roll a perception for that, there's a staircase leading down in the center of this open area. The staircase has long since crumbled away, and I said staircase, excuse me, it used to be a staircase, it's now a pit before. Just a big hole, right there. That's a intimidating spell. He says. She kind of tilts her head. I think not what you said. Or, excuse me, you're more than what you said.
Sorry.
Take more points
It absorbs faster that way.
I'm an alchemist. To make it work.
Mint toast. So much heal.
I was in the, like, the toilet you just had the CO2 cartridges on top of it. I'll show you a video of it.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Speaking of, now would be a good time for break. We'll be back in just a moment.